We want to get away from illness, hurt, anything that doesn't work the way it's supposed to. We have achieved that here. This is called the cortical stack. This cortical stack stores your memories, everything that makes you you, mannerisms, emotions you ever felt, people you know, anything, even your consciousness is stored on this device. We did not create this device, but we do use it to help our sleeves move. Sleeves are basically human bodies we grow in our labs. They're organically real. Bones, tissue, organs, everything. These are the best bodies you'll ever have, period. Nothing can hurt these bodies, but they are human. So if something were to happen to them, you can always change them out for a new one. That's why it says immortality becomes non-existent. Because you can be 50 in one body and change to the next body. You're as young as you feel. If you come this way, David's going to show you some 2018 models that you can choose from.
Well, you can choose which sleeve you desire. Now you can either have the sleeve that you have right now, or we have a selection of wonderful sleeves that we have made through Psychosec, fully genuine and organic produced. Now if you'd like to be taller, shorter, skinnier, if you'd like to have better vision, maybe strengthen your body, you have the choice to choose a man or a woman's sleeve. Now if your sleeve becomes damaged or too old for your liking, simply remove from the cortical stack your DHF, your consciousness, to another, newer sleeve. Any questions?
Am I in a Banksy exhibit?
Excuse me?
Is this a Banksy exhibit?
This is not, this is Psychosec. We have the technology for you to achieve immortality. Now this is the final stage. Come right this way.
Psychosec. Now this is the final stage of the resleeving process. This is Joel. Now remember guys, Joel is made up of exactly what we're made of. Skin, bone, muscle, tissue, everything is in Joel. He still needs to have his nutrients. He still needs to breathe, okay? Just like we do on a day-to-day basis. But Joel is in an unconscious state. So his cortical stack is waiting for someone's mind to be needle casted into his cortical stack. So basically he's being prepped for one of your minds to be in his body. So come closer, get closer. If you guys would like to...
People of Australia and of our show, we were very empathetic about what happened and very sort of horrified. And so we were wondering, how is everyone going and how's Kim doing?
What? Okay.
I'm sorry, is there someone talking to you?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry about that. So I just was wondering how everyone's doing. Hello, Courtney, have we lost you?
Well, a very, very heavy debatation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace and look for the head of the pit. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace and look for the bit.
Every Russian robotoid has what is called a holographic brain. This brain duplicates essentially the entire memory of a person being copied. The key to doing this is a new technique called an ultrasonic cerebral hologram. Using high-frequency sound waves, which are inaudible, a complete three-dimensional picture is made of a person's brain. This is a painless, non-destructive process, and under the proper conditions, it can be done without the person even being aware of it. Last month, I revealed that the Russians are using Nelson Rockefeller's hit list to weed out Bolsheviks here in America, and for roughly 3 years they have been preparing for this day. They have been secretly making cerebral holograms of the people on the list at every opportunity. This has been done to every person on Rockefeller's list who has visited Russia or Eastern Europe in the past 3 years. When an organic robotoid is made to simulate, for example, our late President Jimmy Carter, two major factors are involved. One is the genetic coding required to simulate Carter's appearance, voice, fingerprints, and so on. The other is a holographic image of Carter's brain. This image is a complete record of the neuron patterns which existed in Carter's brain at the moment the hologram was made. Therefore, it contains all of the memory and knowledge Carter had up to that moment. When a Carter robotoid is made, the biological computer in its head is caused to form according to the holographic record of Carter's brain. However, certain portions of the robotoid computer are caused to deviate from the holographic record. The end result is a biological computer, which has to be programmed, but which contains essentially all of Carter's memory, involuntary mannerisms, and the like. As a result, a Carter robotoid will automatically do certain kinds of things without the need for specific programming. For example, a Carter robotoid will seem to recognize old friends. That's because the computer memory of the robotoid reproduces Carter's memory of that friend. The holographic process puts it there automatically without the Russian programmers even having to know it's there. Organic robotoids are such amazing creatures that they are still a subject of questioning and debate. This is true even among the Russian scientists who made them a reality.
Al Roker, will someone do the junior high hug? It's like this. You gotta make it real awkward.
That's exactly how
you have to have a certain amount of distance between the bodies in junior high.
Yes, like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
35 years ago today, Elvis Presley passed away, the king of rock and roll, and as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a...
For example, robotoids seem to have no true instinct for self-preservation.
This is Denise, Debbie, Diana, and Daisy. They're clones, near the end of their lives, and crucially, very healthy. It's that combination that puts paid to some scientific and ethical concerns arising from cloning animals. This small flock were cloned from the same adult cell used to produce Dolly the sheep 20 years ago. Her birth was a scientific first, but when she died, relatively young, affected by the ailments of old age, it raised serious questions.
Dolly developed certain diseases like osteoarthritis at what was considered to be a relatively young age, and there was concerns that her biological age might be greater than her chronological age. But the systems for cloning have changed slightly over the years, and it's much more efficient now than it was, and this is the first detailed study to look at the health of cloned offspring at an old age, and it shows that they are, for all intents and purposes, perfectly normal.
Using technology like MRI scanners, scientists at Nottingham University searched for signs of illnesses commonly seen in older lowland sheep, including the osteoarthritis that afflicted Dolly.
I was surprised at how little osteoarthritis we actually found in the sheep. There was only really one sheep that had quite bad arthritis, and I suspect if you looked at a population of farmed sheep of that age, I think I would have expected to have found more arthritis in more joints of more of the sheep.
The significance of these four for human health is that the study has proved they've lived long and healthy lives. It means that one day the technology behind their cloning may be used to create treatments for disorders and diseases in people.
The so-called Nottingham flock came about because scientists are trying to improve the efficiency of the cloning process. The fact that these sheep have outlived their identical genetic sister Dolly by 2.5 years is an important step forward. It means renewed hope for human treatments such as stem cell therapies and, say the scientists, an improved quality of life for animals used in experiments. Sangeeta Maiska, BBC News, Nottinghamshire.
If you go to Disney World, for instance, down there in the Haunted Mansion, you see the hologram, right? Oh, you know how to make a hologram. Well, our scientists have learned how to make people. They call them synthetics. Are you familiar with those?
Well, actually, we just interviewed John Lear, and he was talking about being in an audience
in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. A synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic almost. That's the latest technique. The old techniques, if you guys can rent a video, the boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it, it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
and the Soviets have a different method called...
I mean, making people meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just connecting. They'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway, so if we want to keep people going as long as we can. I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance.
Right.
On the DNA sequencing. And they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think...
They're walking around, they look old, but they basically, some of the people are just
I'll
second,
just give you
third
something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he is and look like it. Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that. And then ended up in Antarctica or in Swabenland and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard. That's
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact, one of our
Stalin
contacts.
Stalin asked for they tried to burn the body and he got the body back and he said, wait a minute, different ears and the testicles were different and everything else. So they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now going about cloning. Cloning techniques. Since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend that all he does is treat the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear on it. So I don't go into too many more details, but there is information that's available, and more and more of that's coming on the line. I just told you, go rent the movie.
Okay, Boys from Brazil.
Yeah, and you'll see the whole technique on what they show it to you in different places, so you can imagine what it's going on.
Okay, so
now let's go to the next step because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Mm-hmm. Your soul memory is another thing. Mm-hmm. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body is very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts, they said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it. So you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't
Sure.
have soul. That's also prophesized.
Right,
Soulless
that's
beings.
true. That's true.
Now, we have another agenda that's going on, so you have to be careful of all this. There are many extraterrestrials that would like to be in on the game right now, so they can sometimes will come into these physical beings that we've made to manipulate them.
I see.
So now you have a combination effort that you have to look at, and discernment. You have to discern what the game is. Well, just figure that most of the leaders we have in the world have been bought and paid for or created to think a certain way in the world.
Their child star. This is Amanda Bynes.
Yeah. The Illuminati knows the answers, taking bone samples to clone rappers. But the artists in prison to silence their vision, genetic copies going home after. They look different, eyes shifted, smile missing, skin lifted, it's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old you, get your duplication to enforce their message. They clone Gucci, clone Kodak, cloned Eminem, he ain't rap since Encore, know that. Cloning rappers when they overdose to keep making money from producing more tracks. The game is a sham, turning the artists who challenge to sacrificial lambs. The labels and devils are shaking hands, creating our artists in labs.
The executions have been televised, oh, they're on TMZ like every night. They take our heroes, give us weaponized clones. The revolution won't be televised. I can't be replicated. Copy the attitude and it changed, but no one will ever do me the same. I can't be replicated. Try to control me, then guess again. Rebellion lives in my DNA. I can't be replicated. Duplicated, imitated, fabricated, eliminated. No, I can't be replicated. The system designed me to be a slave. I'm the glitch in the matrix they can't escape. I can't be replicated.
If they killed the rappers who were spitting truth, they wouldn't have a messenger to reach the youth. So they duplicate physically, implant abilities, replicate tattoos and cloning facilities. Indie contracts say worldwide, label contracts say universal. For all of time in all forms, they own all your music, your image, your name, and your person. Weird, right? I know you don't think that it's facts, but for 50,000 and a hair sample, you can clone your dog or your dying cat. It's another way for them to win the war by weaponizing important celebrities. Don't kill your foes, just clone their gods. Then you'll control all your enemies.
The executions have been televised, oh, they're on TMZ like every night. They take our heroes, give us weaponized clones. The revolution won't be televised. I can't be replicated. Copy the attitude and it changed, but no one will ever do me the same. I can't be replicated. Try to control me, then guess again. Rebellion lives in my DNA. I can't be replicated. Duplicated, imitated, fabricated, eliminated. No, I can't be replicated. The system designed me to be a slave. I'm the glitch in the matrix they can't escape. I can't be replicated. You can see the difference in their face now. Casualties of money and the fame, posing for the cameras with that fake smile. A clone of someone who they used to be. I can't be replicated. Copy the attitude and it changed, but no one will ever do me the same. I can't be replicated. Try to control me, then guess again. Rebellion lives in my DNA. I can't be replicated. Duplicated, imitated, fabricated, eliminated. No, I can't be replicated. The system designed me to be a slave. I'm the glitch in the matrix they can't escape. I can't be replicated. for space. Open up your mind. Q will answer questions in a time. Feel the gravity moving to a new reality. Open up your mind. You will send your thoughts throughout time.
Well, a very, very heavy vertation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace Chase and look for the head of the pit.
Look live video now. Like, are we fools? Like, are we? Check the mouth. This man is not talking. This is not Buhari. Buhari don't die.
Never happened without the preparation we had, training the team. And so I'd like to. Wait, that's not a little embarrassing. But, so I don't get people worried standing up here too long. I think what I was going to say, and so I figured I could stand here standing enough as a training.
You've put out some very strange tweets of late about cloning.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about cloning? Do you want to get cloned, or are celebrities getting cloned?
Yeah, man, I think people should look it up, man. I don't really want to say too much, but I will say do your own research.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. It's no more conspiracy. I know. And so it's really up to each person to do their own research and come to your own truths, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we as people listen too much to what somebody tells us, and we don't actually go background check and really say, you know what, that really don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you really look at a lot of different things and you start to think, and so what I like to do is I like to provoke thought, you know, and provoking thought is the least you could do. You can't make somebody believe something. You really got to just provoke thought.
Would you like to be cloned?
Would I like to be?
Yeah.
Am I already cloned?
Oh, are you already cloned?
I'd rather not say. But
that means there's a possibility that you could already be cloned.
Yes, there's a possibility. But, you know, I know I'm me because my fingernails look the same and I have dreams still.
Years in biological synthesis, that is, artificial life forms. And according to high intelligence, a stunning breakthrough took place in Russia some years ago. The Russians refer to this breakthrough as a providential discovery, something they learned almost by accident. They discovered the key to creating what are known as organic robotoids. An organic robotoid is an artificial robot-like creature. It looks and acts exactly like a human being, and yet it is not human. A robotoid is alive in a biological sense, but it is an artificial life form. Robotoids respond to conventional routine medical tests in the same way as humans do. They eat, they drink, they breathe, they bleed if cut, and they can be killed.
A lot of people that find out about this cloning stuff find it very frightening. And yes, it is scary. And a lot of that fear comes from the fact that we've been programmed to believe that we're the only sentient beings on the planet. On the plane. Some people ask me, you know, if the Earth is flat, man, like, are the other planets flat? Are the stars flat too? You can't hold on to old, obsolete beliefs that you've been taught. Like, everything that you've been taught is a lie. It's programming. Shouts out to all the people who bought telescopes and who got, you know, the cameras with the super zoom so you can actually see it for yourself. You can see this for yourself. I also get asked a lot, am I a clone? From my understanding, Donald has seen a clone of me in the cloning center. I am memory suppressed. However, I do have memories of what fit the description of the cloning center and the arena. Some people say, are you controlled opposition? Why are you just now talking about cloning? Why are you just now speaking up on these things? You're right to think that, but take this into consideration. If you're familiar with my song, Missing, Dr. Aiden, The Watchers, my New Black mixtape, you know that this is not my first time speaking out. I'm just now learning about cloning. Like, I just found out about it a couple months ago, and I was scared as fuck. When I first found out about cloning, I was fucking terrified. Like, supernatural shit was happening around my house. I was jumping out of my sleep, seeing shit. I got all types of knives and guns hanging out of my mattress and my pillows and shit. Like, I had to beef up my security. I was really scared for my life. I literally had to face the fear of death. I thought that when I spoke out about cloning, they were going to kill me. Like, I swear to God, on mama. The first time that I contacted Donald, there was a tremendous amount of interference. The footage got distorted. There were helicopters and planes and shit flying over my house. Airplanes. That song was written and produced before I ever got a hold of it. It was actually intended for Lupe. Y'all gotta understand how this shit work in this industry. Like, this shit is all set up. Like, talk to Lupe about airplanes. He'll tell you. Shouts out to Lupe. And also, too, y'all need to pay attention to these other celebrities when they're leaving hints. They're leaving clues all over the place. Everybody can't talk. Everybody can't talk because, you know, they got kids or, you know, they made some type of agreement. But pay attention. Everybody who's in this shit or who's in this industry or who has a clone is not evil or malicious. Some people just got born into this shit, like me. So, I'm still here alive. I don't know why. I don't know why I can talk. Maybe it's because I have some type of amnesty. Or maybe it's because somebody extremely, extremely close to me is a Mason, and I'm protected in that sense. I don't know. But if they wanted to do something with me, I wouldn't have even gotten this far to telling y'all about cloning. So to the people telling me, Bob, I fear for your life, y'all don't worry. I'm in good hands. Just continue spreading the word.
This is how you should look. And this is what you can get sick of. This is for people to be able to see things. Now, I want to take you back in time to where there was communism in the USSR. So they actually were pretty happy at the beginning. And the reason that they were happy was because they all had jobs. From a very young age, the government would pick what area of study you would go in. So they would usually find children and see which ones looked like they had the body shape. And they knew this from science because our technology is a lot more ahead than what is allowed in the public eye. So this is why they had the best ballerinas, the best runners, the best pole vaulters, the best everything, because they would use your genetics to put you in the right job you should have and compete and do. So if you came from a lineage of this based on your DNA, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, Tori, we're talking like, mid last century. Yeah, this technology existed. You just didn't know about it. Here is where now it's coming to the public. These are tools that communist governments use. This is why in China, certain people advance faster and do things. This is why they have their best athletes, their best computer people, the best this, because they target them from a young age. If you have long fingers, they will recruit you to be a pianist. If I'm just saying, very layman here. This is how they identify. Now a computer does it for them. It will also say how you may die and how they need to insure you. Insurance companies can take this and decide what insurance you can get. Now, this is if it's in the wrong hands, it can get to that point. This is where, all of this comes in. This is where the control comes in. And I am making you aware because this will be coming up soon. I mean, we see that